last video when we did this, my food coloring didn't really work out, and I think it's because I didn't have enough food coloring for the type of food coloring I was using, because at the end, after the elephant toothpaste foam had settled and gotten smaller, reduced in size, I could see a little bit of the blue. So what I've done this time is I've added more food coloring to this. So as you can see, this is pretty dark. It is actually purple, but it's a very dark purple. So I'm hoping when it comes out, it'll turn out to be a light purple, like how apparently the elephant toothpaste I made last time was a very, very light blue. So light that I couldn't even tell it was blue. I thought it was white. Now, technically, if I was doing an experiment correctly, I would only change one thing at a time. But since I know food coloring only affects the color, I have also changed how much yeast I have in here. So the original recipe for elephant toothpaste had us putting 1 teaspoon of yeast with the water, but this time I put 2 teaspoons, so I doubled it. So there's a lot of yeast up in here. And then I have my ½ cup of hydrogen peroxide, and let's see what happens with more yeast. So again, the difference here is the twice amount of yeast as when we did it earlier. How does yeast affect elephant toothpaste? All right, it's gray, not purple, but gray. I'll take it. So what I'm seeing that's different from last time is more bubbles and less foam, which could also be because I forgot to put in dish soap. Can you pause it? Pause it. All right, so now there is a ½ cup of darkly dyed hydrogen peroxide in this, and dish soap. So just now you saw what happened when you forget dish soap. Now we're going to do what I actually meant to do earlier, where the only thing we change is the amount of yeast. So again, I have doubled the amount of yeast in here. So we have 2 teaspoons instead of just 1, which means it's taking a little bit longer to dissolve. Alright, and now when we've truly only changed one thing, let's see what happens. Alright, that is purple this time. And now it is more foamy, so it turns out that bubble thing I was talking about was probably because of the lack of soap, not the yeast. I think this went a little bit faster than the first time we did it with more yeast, which would make sense to me because of what yeast does, yeast's job. In case you don't know, go ahead and look that up yourself. But yeah, so what we have learned from this is, 1, I have no idea how much food coloring I'm supposed to use because this is still white. 2, the dish soap, if you don't use it, you get really bubbly stuff, which I think is a little counterintuitive, but that's okay. And 3, I count, I also teach math. This is so bad. And 3, if you use more yeast, it goes faster. And there we go. This is over now. Can you stop it?